game with the biggest cash payout, and it's very simple and easy to play. With increased chances of winning, just pick any 6 numbers from 1 to 28, or buy a quick pick and you can be a jackpot winner. Get 6 numbers and you can win the jackpot. Match 5 numbers plus the bonus ball and be a winner. You're still a winner if you match 5 numbers, 4 numbers, or even 3 numbers plus the bonus ball. Get a free ticket if you match the letter. Drawing twice per week. You never want to miss your chance at being a jackpot winner. So, remember, a ticket a day could make you rich today.
Are you facing challenges in your life? Don't worry, introducing Master Vishnu Psychic and Voodoo Master, here to help you find solutions to all your problems. Whether it's issues in your relationship, negative energy surrounding you, or even business problems, Master Vishnu has 25 years of experience and can provide 100% solution. His expertise in black magic removal, voodoo, witchcraft, demons, dark energy, get ex-love back, husband-wife and relationship issue, psychic reading, palm reading, face reading, horoscope reading, and that's not all. If you're longing to reunite with a loved one, he's here to assist you as well. One call can change your life. Call now Master Vishnu at +5 926 329943. Take the first step towards a brighter future. 2,500 plus satisfied clients, located in all over Georgetown, Guyana.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you were 18 years or over on December 31, 2024, and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you need to visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Wednesday, January 15, 2025 is the last day you can apply for a transfer during this exercise. For more information, contact the GCOM on 2250-278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Step right into the vibrant heart of Guyana with HGP TV's freshest series, Inside Culture. Dive deep into the pulsating core of our spirited nation as we unravel the captivating stories embedded in our arts, music, sports, and beyond. A journey to nurture your soul and celebrate our rich heritage. Join us on HGP TV, where Inside Culture brings you closer to the heart and soul of Guyana, airing Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. and rebroadcasting on Sundays.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Prepare for anything. Greenwich warns of Venezuela's escalating provocations. Government must engage opposition on the Guyana-Venezuela border row. Calls for people-centered approach, AFC. The Matthews Ridge cocaine bust. Home Affairs Minister says arrests made overseas and no records of mass migration of teachers. Minister of Education. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Aletha Grant with the Monday 13th January 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. This is what you need to know this evening. Amid escalating tensions caused by Venezuela's provocative actions and statements, including plans to elect a governor for Guyana's Essequibo region, Guyana's agent in the Venezuela border case, Carl Greenwich, has warned that the country must prepare for any eventuality. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Speaking in an exclusive interview with this newscast, Guyana's agent in the Venezuela border case, Carl Greenwich, emphasized the need for vigilance and proactive measures as Venezuela seeks to disrupt the legal and diplomatic process. Greenwich addressed Venezuela's ongoing attempts to divert attention and prolong proceedings at the International Court of Justice, ICJ.
You have to expect anything because they may do anything. This is an administration which is illegal in all senses of the word, and therefore its actions may well continue to be taken along those lines.
Greenwich strongly condemned the Maduro administration's intention to pursue what he called, quote-unquote, a completely illegal and disreputable act. He pointed out that Venezuela has never controlled Essequibo, nor has it been granted temporary title to the region at any international forum. He emphasized that Guyana's response must involve diplomatic efforts and engagement with international partners to counter these actions.
Guyana has to work with its international partners and bilaterals and the multinational institutions to ensure that Venezuela does not perpetrate this outrage.
While urging the global community to recognize the fabricated nature of Venezuela's claims, Greenwich also underscored the need for Guyana to bolster its defenses.
It will have to protect itself militarily and otherwise.
In a separate interview, Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs Amanda Walton-Desir called for stronger diplomatic engagement. She highlighted the need for the government to take decisive action in rallying international support and addressing Venezuela's provocative actions.
I am deeply, deeply disappointed in the reaction of CARICOM. Guyana continues to be an active, engaged member of the Caribbean community, and we have not yet been able to get out of CARICOM a very strong statement, or at least I have not seen it, a very strong statement condemning this latest action by Nicolas Maduro.
Walton-Desir stressed that Venezuela's actions are not just an attack on Guyana's sovereignty, but also on the principles of territorial integrity and sovereignty that underpin global stability. She urged for more concerted efforts to rally regional neighbors and the international community.
It appears to me that the government continues to be too reactive to this situation.
Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, Antonio Day tells us that the Alliance for Change has expressed dissatisfaction over government's failure to engage members of the opposition and the civil society regarding the Guyana-Venezuela controversy.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs in a statement last week condemned the announcement by President Nicolas Maduro on January 7, 2025, regarding the election of a governor for Guyana's Essequibo territory. According to the subject ministry, Maduro's recent action constitutes a direct violation of the commitments in the Argyle Agreement of December 14, 2023 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. However, Alliance for Change member Beverly Alert criticized the state for failing to engage members of the opposition and civil society on the developments regarding the Guyana-Venezuela border dispute.
The people and their elected representatives are not being engaged and instead are deliberately being kept in the dark.
Alert reasoned that Venezuela has continuously violated international law and its commitments in the signed Argyle Agreement.
Building bridges, fortifying and cocoa, cyber attacks, and appointing governors are only the most recent indicators that we have seen. But much more is taking place below the surface.
She advocated for the government to take a people-centered and inclusive approach regarding this matter, which is of national importance.
There has to be a whole of government and whole of nation approach that includes all strata of our society and all elected representatives.
The AFC member noted that the Venezuelan government should not be taken for granted.
Cat will eat our dinner. While the PPP parades and prances around to gain voter support, our neighbor to the west is not playing. We demand the immediate convening of the Foreign Relations Committee and the reconvening of a bipartisan border national security committee to ensure all hands are at work.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Acting Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty ruled on Monday that the highly anticipated trial regarding alleged electoral irregularities in Guyana's 2020 general elections will proceed summarily. Trial dates have now been set. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Nearly 2 weeks after ruling that election fraud cases must begin afresh, Magistrate McGusty ruled on Monday that the cases will be heard summarily. The trial is scheduled to commence on February 17, 2025 and will continue on February 18 and 19. On December 30, 2024, Senior Magistrate McGusty ruled in favor of the defense, allowing the election fraud cases to commence afresh. This decision nullifies all prior rulings made by Senior Magistrate Leron Daly, who had presided over the case before going on an extended medical leave in August 2024. The trial, which began on July 29, 2024, has faced multiple procedural delays, including Daly's absence. Her prolonged leave led to Magistrate McGusty taking over the case. The defense, led by attorney Nadia Hughes, argued that a de novo or fresh start was essential for ensuring fairness. Hughes contended that decisions made by Magistrate Daly, such as the acceptance of not guilty pleas and the determination of whether charges should be tried summarily or indictably, should not bind Magistrate McGusty. King's counsel Darshan Ramdani, representing the prosecution, opposed the defense argument. He maintained that Daly's rulings were legally sound and binding. Ramdani also noted that the decision to restart proceedings under the de novo principle usually falls under the jurisdiction of a High Court judge, not a magistrate. The charges stem from investigations into the March 2020 general and regional elections. Multiple former officials of the Ghana Elections Commission, GCOM, and others face allegations of attempting to rig the election results. They are collectively facing 19 conspiracy charges related to alleged electoral fraud. The prosecution, as among other things indicated, plans to call approximately 72 witnesses to substantiate the charges. Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
More news on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. Powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Krishna Roth Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Roth Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Thanks for staying with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Antonio Day tells us that as Guyanese patiently await this year's national budget, leader of the opposition Aubrey Norton and economist Elson Lowe are adamant that attention must be placed on the development of human resources.
Last year, public infrastructure received a budgetary allocation of $666.2 billion. Also in 2024, the National Insurance Scheme NIS minimum pension witnessed an increase from $35,000 to $43,025 per month. Senior Minister with responsibility for finance Dr. Ashni Singh last year said that this will amount to an additional $2.6 billion of disposable income, which is expected to benefit over 27,000 persons. Many critics experienced in finance have deemed this unacceptable due to the economy's booming oil sector. This was the position of economist Elson Lowe ahead of Budget 2025, which will be presented on Friday, January 17th.
Wastage last year, I believe in the order of $200 billion due to a lack of improvement of the system, monitoring and evaluation of projects and of feasibility studies and so on being carried out.
Opposition leader Aubrey Norton remarked that too much emphasis was placed on the public infrastructure.
It's not solely a case of people up against the size of the infrastructure budget. It is doing it at the expense of the quality of life of the people.
He argued that the government at times has wasted resources on projects that are not beneficial to citizens.
You see them digging up roads that were properly done to redo them to be able to spend the money. And so the problem is wastage.
Meanwhile, leader of the Alliance for Change, Nigel Hughes, shared recommendations for this year's fiscal plan.
Is that the non-oil primary deficit as a share of the non-oil GDP should expand only by the sum of the oil revenues withdrawn from the National Resource Fund and foreign borrowing.
At the micro level, the AFC leader proposed that anyone who is earning $2 million or less will pay no income tax. Persons earning between $2 million to $10 million per annum should pay 15% income tax, while those earning in excess of $10 million per annum will pay 20% income tax. The party's potential presidential candidate clarified that these recommendations will also be included in the AFC's elections manifesto. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Residents of Independence Bolivar in La Penitence, Georgetown are expressing frustration over a newly constructed facility which is obstructing access to their homes. They're concerned about their rights and the handling of the development in the area. Carice Gonzalez reports.
Residents of Independence Boulevard, La Penitence, Georgetown have voiced deep frustration over a newly constructed building that is obstructing the passageway to their homes. Residents claim the facility, which is intended to benefit youths in the area, is violating their rights by blocking their access, leaving them in a standstill situation. Several residents informed this newscast that they were given permission by the then Mayor Ubrej Narain to temporarily occupy the area while road upgrades were on the way. However, With the construction of the new facility, concerns have arisen regarding the ongoing obstruction to their homes. Residents argue that while they support development in the area, the situation should have been better managed to avoid disrupting their daily lives.
From here, go back is a driveway that the relatives them come to visit me. Yes, and when the relatives come to visit me, they just drive straight, they can't go.
If you've consulted in the university before major community projects, have people come together and you can discuss what is important
by the people.
And then we can say, you know what? There's consensus. That makes sense. Somebody you're wasting taxpayers now. Because if you have to break it down now,
Meanwhile, Georgetown Mayor Alfred Mentor has expressed support for the affected residents, pointing out that while the Ministry of Public Works may have granted permission for the construction, the City Council was not consulted. He emphasized that such decisions should have engaged the Council. Based on Mentor's observation, no permanent structure should have been erected in the area, as it was originally a street leading to an access road. He called for greater involvement between the City Council and the Ministry of Public Works in making decisions that impact local infrastructure and access.
If this street here, we don't want to have this street anymore. That we have to agree from the city perspective as well as with the government perspective to make this no longer a street. In the manner in which it's done, I think it's a bit wrong, it's a bit odd, and even if it was being done, it ought to be done to one side to allow the people to be able to have the access, because at the end of the day, this is still a roadway or a street, and this is the access way those people, there's no other access.
Mentor reiterated that the council is not opposed to development, and the issue will be formally discussed at the next council meeting. Until then, a cease order will be issued to halt further construction on the property, pending further review and resolution of the matter.
In the interim, I'll be sending somebody to stop the job.
I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Travis Chase will now provide an update on the 4.4 tons of cocaine found at Matthews Ridge last September. Arrests in relation to the find have been made internationally.
Much of the 5,094.67 kilograms of cocaine seized by the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit in 2024 belonged to that September 1, 2024 bust of 4.4 tons of cocaine at Matthews Ridge Region 1. Since that discovery, nothing was said about the arrest of anyone. We were only told that the operation was a joint one involving the United States Drug Enforcement Administration, CANU, and the Ghana Defense Force. However, when pressed by Nightly News for an update on the investigation on Monday, Minister of Home Affairs Robeson Ben told a news conference that there have been arrests overseas in relation to the bust.
There were a number of arrests overseas related to that one. I wouldn't say the country or the area right now, but there were a number of arrests made in relation to that matter.
Nightly News was told that when the anti-drug agents descended upon Matthews Ridge, several persons reportedly escaped. Minister Ben was therefore asked about arrests made locally in relation to the Matthews Ridge cocaine bust.
I could be corrected, but I think there were two arrests in relation locally. Persons were but arrested, but the investigation still underway. Questions of charges will be dealt with through the DPP's chambers.
The cocaine, valued at 176 million euros, was found in 4 separate pits just off an illegal airstrip and said to have been camouflaged and packaged in what appeared to have been cardboard boxes, which were then sealed in transparent plastic bags. The cocaine, which is believed to have been destined for European countries, is set to be the largest in the history of Guyana. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
We have more news for you on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Cvance Waste Management today at 218-1455.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you were 18 years or over on December 31, 2024, and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, the 22nd of January, 2025. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-02789 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Welcome back. The Minister of Education has attempted to quell rumors that there is no mass migration of teachers. Find out more from Daisy Richards.
Minister of Education Priya Manik-Chan at her ministry's end-of-year press conference last Friday addressed rumors of mass migration among teachers. Minister Manik-Chan, in attempting to quell these rumors, noted that teachers are returning to Guyana after breaching their contracts.
We don't have as a record any mass movement of teachers. Every year, teachers retire. Every year, teachers resign, sometimes for their own thing. And every year, teachers unfortunately die.
Contrary to the rumors, the minister added that private school teachers have instead become interested in being registered in the public education system.
The conditions are better. The salary is better. Their security of tenure is much, much better because it's very hard to knock off a teacher.
Chief Education Officer Saddam Hussein, offering some comments on the issue, highlighted that almost 75% of schools on the coast are overstaffed. He also highlighted that stable figures for untrained teachers, which stood at 100 during 2024.
The graduate teachers, those teachers with degrees, maybe masters and so on, it's even less than that. It's even very, very less than that.
The ministry, however, did point out shortages in some areas that include technical vocational education training teachers, music teachers, and physical education teachers. In 2024, there were over 4,300 trained teachers entering public schools. In April of 2024, suspended head of the Guyana Teachers Union, Dr. Mark Light, in an interview highlighted that enticing opportunities overseas may see some of the country's exceptional educators migrating. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
After claims by Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline Sukai that she had no knowledge of the mismanagement of monies in Amerindian villages, Mervyn Williams, an Indigenous people's advocate, has hauled her over the coals. Find out more from Daisy Richards.
Outright theft of the money. I have no case before me at the moment.
That was Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline Sukai during her ministry's end-of-year press conference, where she claimed to have no knowledge of the misuse of funds in Amerindian villages. Advocate for Indigenous peoples Mervyn Williams, during his party's weekly show Nation Watch, brought out an almost 2-year petition which was filed by residents of Wakapoa located along the Pomeroon River in Region 2. Williams cited that residents called for the removal of the village Lushao and the councillors. He alleged that the minister never investigated issues raised.
But a team from the regional administration went there. And they did all the investigations that they could do, which I consider unlawful, having regard to the provisions of the Act.
The former Indigenous advisor pointed out that there are several projects across villages that remain incomplete since the distribution of funds in 2023, including a rest house and a block-making facility estimated at $1 million each, a market structure valued at $1.5 million, and money spent on tractor repairs valued at $1 million.
All these projects were left the way you see them here in these images, but the money has been exhausted. These are projects that were budgeted for.
In 2024, Wakapo was given $1 million cash grant and still has incomplete projects. The advocate added that there are other villages that are yet to complete projects due to irresponsible spending by village officials.
If you go over to Monkey Mountain, you will find that a truck was bought there for 3 times the price of a truck of its type. A 4x4 was bought without the knowledge or consent of the village council or the villagers in Monkey Mountain.
Williams said while leaders may not be outright stealing village monies, there are instances where monies cannot be accounted for and subject minister should look into it. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
As global concerns rise over human metanovirus, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony reassures the public that there have been no reported cases in Guyana and his ministry is prepared to handle any potential outbreaks. Carice Gonzalez has that story.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony addressed growing global concerns about human metapneumovirus, HMPV, reassuring the public that there have been no confirmed cases in Guyana. He assured that the Ministry of Health is closely monitoring the situation and is fully prepared to effectively respond.
We have been checking. We haven't had any cases here, and in the region, CARFA has the capability of being able to diagnose.
Minister Anthony noted that HMPV is not a novel virus, explaining that it has been in circulation for several years. He stressed that there is no need for public alarm at this stage.
This is something that has been around for many years, and looking at the disease profile, it is not one where you have high fatality rates. We have had cases of, let's say, like a cousin of this particular disease, which is RSV, and we have been able to manage them quite successfully.
In response to a query about whether screening for HMPV is being conducted at Guyana's ports of entry, Dr. Anthony explained that such measures are not currently in place. He clarified that HMPV presents symptoms similar to those of the flu, making it difficult to distinguish from other respiratory infections.
But this is something that, because you'll get flu-like symptoms, we haven't put those measures in place, but if people get sick and they come into one of our facilities or they come for a test, we'll obviously be able to take that sample and then be able to make the diagnosis.
HMPV is a virus that usually causes symptoms similar to a cold. Most cases are mild, but young children, adults over 65, and persons with weak immune systems are at a higher risk for serious illness. HMPV is common. Most people get it before they turn 5. This virus has been seen in China, India, Malaysia, Europe, with more than 28,000 persons affected. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors PLE in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and, if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you were 18 years or over on December 31, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not in the PLE, apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person whose information on the PLE is incorrect can apply for such information to be changed or corrected. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the relevant original source document, birth certificate and a deed poll for a name change by deed poll, marriage certificate and ID card for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, naturalization certificate for a correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, 15 January 2025. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-027829 or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
Good evening, I'm Daisy Richards and welcome to Monday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Trinidad and Tobago. The country's murder toll continues to rise steadily and unsolicited remarks from the public seem to indicate that no one can discern any visible difference in the state of law enforcement, even amid a state of emergency. This was a message on Sunday from the Downtown Owners and Merchants Association, DOMA, which said, quote, high-profile and low-profile victims are being killed with the same freeness as before. Murderous home invasions and unexplained killings of all types of individuals continues whenever, wherever, and at whatever time the murderers desire, unquote. The fanfare of concern by ministers, commissioners, and deputy commissioners for the safety of state prosecutors and the judiciary is misplaced. It seems to portray another lack of regard for the common sense of the public, DOMA said. It argued that without exception, the most effective way of protecting state prosecutors and the judiciary is to arrest, prosecute, and convict whoever killed Prosecutor Randall Hector. Solving the prosecuting crime is the best deterrent that exists for centuries, DOMA also said. Quote, surely more hard work by the protective services must be a requirement of the state of emergency. It is impossible to feel any sense of hope when even under a state of emergency, the performance of law enforcement has remained unchanged, unquote. In Barbados, the Barbados Police Service is investigating a fatal shooting incident which claimed the life of a 30-year-old man on Thursday, January 9, 2025. The victim has been identified as Vera Ricardo Hoyt of Isolation Road, Belplain, St. Andrew. According to police reports, personnel at the District E police station received a report around 5 p.m. that a male was shot whilst at Checker Hall Crossroads, St. Lucie. Investigations revealed that Hoyt was liming in the area when a car stopped close by, firing a series of gunshots. He was seen lying on the ground and medical attention was summoned. Hoyt was later pronounced dead at the scene by a medical doctor. Finally, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, whose nearly 12 years in office have been marked by a deep economic and social crisis, was sworn in for a third term on Friday, staying in power despite a 6-month dispute over an election and international calls for him to stand aside. Maduro, president since 2013, was declared the winner of July's election by both Venezuela's electoral authority and the top court, though detailed tallies confirming this victory have never been published. Maduro was sworn in at the National Assembly in Caracas by a legislature head, Jorge Rodriguez, with Maduro saying he was taking his oath in the name of a 16th century indigenous leader and the late President Hugo Chavez, his mentor among others. Quote, may this new presidential term be a period of peace, of prosperity, of equality, and a new democracy, unquote, Maduro said. adding he would comply with the laws of the country. Quote, I swear on history, on my life, and I will fulfill my mandate. We will fulfill, unquote. Venezuela's opposition says ballot box level tallies show a landslide win for its former candidate, Edmundo Gonzalez, who is recognized as president-elect by several countries, including the United States. International election observers said the vote was unfair. The months since the election have seen Gonzalez's flight to Spain in September, his ally Maria Corina Machado going into hiding in Venezuela, and the detentions of high-profile opposition figures and protesters. The government, which has accused the opposition of fomenting fascist plots against it, has said Gonzalez will be arrested if he returns and offered $100,000 reward for information leading to his capture. Both Gonzalez and Machado are being investigated by the Attorney General's office for alleged conspiracy, but only Gonzalez has a public warrant out for his arrest. Thank you for watching. Do have a productive week. Until next time.
Prepare for anything, Greenwich warns of Venezuela's escalating provocations. Government must engage opposition on the Guyana-Venezuela border row. Calls for a people-centered approach, AFC. The Matthews Ridge cocaine bust. Home Affairs Minister says arrests made overseas and no records of mass migration of teachers. Minister of Education. Those are our major headlines for these stories and more. Please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Alethea Grant. Thanks for watching.